This is Blackberry Syrah.
Ooh, Syrah.
Yeah.
Is that a wine or what?
Yeah, it's a wine. It's Syrah's type of grape.
Okay. Never heard
apparently.
of
it. Yeah. It's a French grape.
All right, we're
live. So we live on YouTube. Yeah, we're live on YouTube. Just gonna give a minute for people to get the notification and come into the room if they're coming in. And I'm queuing up Facebook.
Keep an eye on my World Series. My boy Mookie Betts.
Yes, that time.
I'm in that business. Put that right there. Put that right there.
do, with my patients or just in general, like at the school, I'm as cool with, the maintenance man and the ladies at the dispensary as much as with my patients, as much as with anybody I know that's graduated Harvard from pediatric dentistry. If not, I'm probably cooler with them, you know what I mean? But I make it a point to, like you said, I'm always, I feel like, aware of putting myself in other people's shoes because I came up in that duality. I always kind of the oddball out. When I'm with my white friends in the classroom, there's like I have to kind of adapt to them. But then, my other friends that's out doing, X, Y, and Z, I can't, I have to adapt to them as well. So I feel like that's a skill that I think is important, and it's good that you put it in an actual system and a rule, and you're differentiating between the tiers of people, how they deal with others.
Oh yeah, and then the thing, those are what they call soft skills.
Yeah.
Those are the intangibles, but at the same time, they are skills that we're not taught. And so once you figure out how you have achieved some success that wasn't taught to you, you should, like you do, document it and then make it something that can be duplicatable to other people that will be in your situation. So that's the gist of having that to become valuable, and it just becomes a separator. And the way I look at it is it's character. At the end of the day, and it's an emulation of principles of success, not imitation, not duplication, but emulation. So those are things. And when I equate it to sports, there's two guys that I just enjoy watching because of character: Russell Wilson and Mookie Betts. And the reason why, those guys are always positive, they're leaders, they treat everybody, with the platinum rule, and they're very humble. And there's no surprise that they have the boundless amount of success that they have, because they've been putting that work in, and they were taught that from an early age, and they understand the value of it as well. And sometimes when we start to become educated and achieve a certain level of success, our ego, which is evil going on, interrupts and then starts to explode. We all have that experience. So even when you have a new rich experience, you go out and spend a whole bunch of money to flaunt for people to show you're successful, but in all actuality, that's a sign of insecurity.
Yeah.
But we don't realize it, because that's the society that we live in. But when you really realize who you are, it doesn't matter what the trappings that you have, because that's not success.
Well said.
So yeah, with that said, Nick, man, taking all the notes, this is your show.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah. I mean, one thing I want to know, we kind of went through everything that you have going on. I want to know how do you juggle all of this? Like, what strategies, what practices do you use to juggle the content creation, dental school, entrepreneurship, and of course, time for yourself. So how do you manage all of that?
Yeah, time management. That's a great question.
Yeah, the honest answer is I'm still figuring it out. It's definitely been a challenge, and it's probably a reason why I can't make certain things a machine, like the video production, the docuseries, but time management is definitely at the core. So I like to take time. I like to plan out my whole weeks, my calendar, all my exams. Anything that I'm doing, I schedule my patients like on a Sunday every week for the following week. Once that's set up, any free time I have, I'll give it towards stuff outside of school. But to be honest, sometimes I sacrifice school to do something over here, and I'll sacrifice this because I got to do school. At this moment where I'm at, school definitely in many situations has to trump it, because, if I fail out, it's not really good, and it defeats the whole purpose. But, I will say that dental school, I would say like medical school or anything like that, it's an environment where like academia, prestige, the people like to really do well in these types of environments where you're taking like hundreds of exams a year, you're taking average 6, sometimes 6, 5 exams a week. You have to kind of be anxiety driven person. So for that reason, I'm not at like the top of my class, by any means, but I value different things than those people at the top may value. They're not thinking about entrepreneurship. They're not reading personal development like I have. They're not building relationships. When they're just straight and narrow people. They need to see that path. They need to see that next stone. And when the fear of like failing, it cripples them, but it makes them excel. And I think the reason I have balance is because I'm not anxiety driven. I like to make sure that I'm good at all times. So, I will take time, for myself. I do a lot of meditation now. When I do get to go hang out with my friends and create, and we're together and we're building, we're talking about business ideas we have, like that fuels me. That makes me, when I do that and I spend time there, it makes me then go like, okay, let me go in school and go hard in school. But I feel like if I made my whole life just one or the other, I think I would have difficulty because that's just how I am. I have like, the way my attention span is like, you know what I mean? I'm always looking for the next thing. But I think first and foremost, I put, like I said, my mental health, my physical health first. But time management is definitely how I could do anything, like I was talking to you, Nick, I'm trying to do my best. I wake up at the same time every day, but now I'm trying to make the most of it. The 5 a.m. club we were talking about, so that's what I've been working on now, getting up at a certain time, very early, 5 a.m., let's say, doing my meditation during that time, first 20 minutes, then writing. I'll do this now. I'll write down in the morning, like what I want to do for the day. All right, schedule this patient for this. This patient needs this. Study 2 hours for this exam, and try to get it done. Sometimes I don't get everything done, but having that list kind of makes me attack the day before I get lost in everything, because there's so many emails coming in, so much little things that we have to keep up with in dental school. Certain requirements we have, certain like papers we have to write. It's the little things that you can miss if you're not keeping up. So I would definitely say time management, but I'm still learning ways to better manage my time. And I'm learning to actually appreciate it, how much stuff I have going on now, because when I am out and I am able to just go and do dentistry from 9 to 5 and then have time to not having to study, not having to worry about certain exams, application, and all that extra clutter that consumes most of my day, I will have time to work on whatever business endeavors I have, or whatever the case is. So I think mastering that now is becoming very important to me.
I have a couple of questions for you, Drew. How has COVID-19 impacted your career and your studies and just the peer-to-peer patients? I mean, because I know at the beginning of the year everything was shut down. I know my dental office was shut down and didn't go back to see the dentist until just recently as August, or I think it was beginning of July. Beginning of July. So how is that impacting you guys, and is that changing the trajectory of what you want to specialize in, or as it has not that much of an effect on you currently?
That's a great question. It threw a huge wrench in like everything, and it's actually adding a lot of stress now, because this thing happened in March. So your first 2 years of dental school is all didactic, meaning it's all books. you're taking anatomy, microbiology, pathology, all this stuff. So you're working on mannequins. You know, when you do the dental stuff, you're drilling on mannequins. So third year is when you finally start to see real live humans, and you start to do all the stuff you learn in the clinic on real people. So the first couple months, like the fall, like October, you're just thrown in there, and you're like a chicken without its head. Like, you're trying to learn everything. You're trying to learn how to work with real tongue, saliva, paperwork. We have to keep track of our patients' financials, do the insurance, write appeals, schedule them. Like, it's a huge learning curve. And our most productive time is supposed to be from like March to June, because you kind of know all the ropes. The seniors that are ahead of you, the fourth years, they're graduating, so you get all of their cases. So you're kind of the only student doctors there. So you start doing like a lot of crowns, bridges, implants, all root canals, all the crazy stuff. So we were stripped of that time. So they shut down the school. We were doing a bunch of like online stuff, all these like papers we had to write every week to kind of do something. And then we just opened up in July. We were actually the first dental school in the country to open back up and see patients. But there's a lot more rules and CDA guidelines now. So we can only see patients 2 times a week now, versus before it was 5 times a week. And there's half the amount of chairs. So
did y'all take everything out of the offices, take stuff off the walls and everything? When I went into my dentist, high-end dentist, all of a sudden it was like everything was gone.
Yeah, I mean, our school kind of stayed the same because there's never really stuff on the wall and stuff, but they taped some of the chairs up to show that, you know, you can't have patients here. So it's half the amount of chairs. So all of us are competing to book these chairs.
It's that time now.
Stress, yeah. And like our requirements weren't able to get done because we missed all that time. So we're behind on requirements. You know, we have a certain amount of dentures we have to do, certain amount of rounds. So like, it's been crazy.
Wisdom teeth that you got to take out stuff. Actually, with the person that I was dating, I actually was one of their students to actually get my wisdom teeth taken out. Didn't even need my wisdom teeth taken out, but I allowed them to take my wisdom teeth off so they could pass that exam. I remember that stuff.
Oh man, yeah. So as far as the residency stuff, it kind of messed up. Like, you know, you're not able to go and visit and see the program. All the interviews now are on Zoom. Wow. So they can kind of like feel your presence. It's not personal. So
that could be a deficit in this field.
Exactly.
Are you trying to do your residency in the same city and state, or are you looking abroad? Are you looking at St. Thomas? I know a couple of guys that went down to St. Thomas and did residency. Yeah.
I'm looking in the tri-state area, so New York, New Jersey, Philly. So yeah, I want to go to this program in Philly, Temple. So that's one of my top programs. So yeah, I'm just waiting to see what happens.
All right, great. Yeah, so let's talk about I guess we could say some of those challenges that you faced along the journey that we were talking about you know, offline, you know, before we got on, and then we can kind of, you know, broaden that to general conversation, you know, about our people and about making connections and yeah, you know, helping one another and all that. Like you did mention that we should talk about that, you know, and I thought that's a very, very important topic to touch on, you know. So, you know, I know you mentioned you referenced some of the stories, some of the things that you did, you know, to make connections with the professionals and you know, professionals that look like us in particular. So yeah. So why don't you go ahead and you know, talk about that a little bit? Yeah, expound on that a little bit, and then we'll, you know, broaden that conversation.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm sure as both of y'all know, you know, when you're networking, you know, you meet all different types of people, all different beliefs, different outlooks on things, and you know, I always pride myself on being humble. You know, I'm just there, you know, for the opportunity. You know, I don't make it about me, but in doing so, I've been able to kind of see how certain people think. You know, and like you're saying, the ego, people with egos, and their political views, and you know, all type of stuff. So, you know, I was talking to Nick, along my way, a lot of the people that helped me the most were people that didn't per se look like me. You know, the woman who basically plugged me in to dental school, um, she is like a she's like a basically a white woman. You know what I mean? But she's part Cuban too. But yeah, and same thing right now, applying to residencies. A lot of the person that actually showed me pediatric dentistry, brought me into the office, you know, show me how the business works and everything is a Jewish person. But there's been a lot, like I told Nick, a lot of people of color, a lot of black people who helped me, and motivated me, and you know, showed me a lot of things. But um, I pride myself on, I guess because of my background and my upbringing, like I pride myself on being for the community and with the community. And a lot of like black people who are in professionalism um, may see themselves as above people who are uneducated, or um, you know, they think the solution to everything is to go out and vote, you know, and you know, whatever political views they have. But yeah, it's been funny because, you know, like I said, you know, I would look up black dentists in the area or anybody who knew one, and I would, you know, try to build with them. I would give them my time. Like I said, I would help them with their business, anything I could do. Um, and a lot of times, like, you know, nothing came out of it. And you know, it's not to bad talk those people, but I think it's important to just put the message out there to anybody watching that, you know, it's important to be involved with the community, and like, you know, DJ said, oh, you know, always be humble, always like remember where you come from, and do what you can to make the change, you know, because a lot of these, like I said, black leaders, they buy into like politics. There's nothing wrong, definitely go out there, express your right to vote, um, but you know, if you are a doctor, if you know, you're doing well off, you know, go into the communities, you know, let the kids see you, let the kids, you know,
Right, right. That visibility. I mean,
show them that, you know, you could do this, and that you're not, you know, that you're with them.
you're probably like a unicorn, because
Yeah,
there's probably smaller percentage of black males in dentistry than there is in medicine, and those numbers are dwindling. So I think with that said, Drew, I mean, how do you go? I mean, I said you have your organization that you created in high school. That's amazing, man, that you had access to this information in a program in high school. And
yeah,
I think just having somebody see you in high school could change their trajectory, especially if God give them a gift, you know, for biology, math, and science, and they don't know that that's even an avenue that they could pursue.
exactly.
I think lighting that light for them is a tremendous benefit in of itself in our community, and then showing them that, hey, here's how you can walk step by step through the process. So I think that's something that we're not doing enough of in our field, because, man, like I think about it, I probably know, outside of my cousin's husband, I probably know one black dentist. Well, I actually knew 3, but I probably only know 1 now, and he's actually Nigerian.
Yeah.
So that's amazing that we're not even getting that exposure because of the lack of visibility.
Yeah, and
going back into the community.
Yeah, and I think it's you know, it's also on us too, like the millennials who are in black professionalism too, like you know, I think the thing with the kids is like we have to make it look good, you know, because
Right.
they think dentist and they don't think cool. They don't think like that's fly, that's what I want to be like, and they don't personally know a dentist, you know, like you said, dentists ain't coming. They don't know dentists coming through, driving Maseratis, driving
Right.
cars that they want. You know, that they see like other people who may be doing, you know, stuff that's illegal or whatever doing, and that's really what they want to see. You know,
Yeah.
they want something cool to look at, and they want to, you know, be something that's like I said, cool, right?
Right.
Um, and I think a big part of it is on the millennials not appreciating the people such as yourself who are, you know, entrepreneurs who are making a lot of money, and they're not working with these people and taking their knowledge and then giving it down to the kids, you know, because right now, like I feel like as a millennial, I am in the middle of like two generations, like the
Right.
young kids now and, you know, the ones before me. Um, and I think that's part of what I want to do, you know, with all the videos and stuff that I'm doing. I'm trying to make it cool. And because I am, you know, in a group of people who, you know, are known, you know, for uh, doing cool stuff, you know, like rapping, you know, getting women, you know, um, being popular per se. But
Right.
at the end of the day, we're about just bettering ourselves and bettering our people. So I think that's one of my goals is to also, like I said, make it look cool because I had nobody to make it look cool for me. You know, I just, like I said, I'll be networking with these like black like doctors, and they talking down on people that, you know, that I love and respect because of, you know, their upbringing, or they might not have graduated high school or whatever. So I'll be looking like, man, like this is crazy. It's like no one out here that's bringing that young, fresh, you know, energy and wealth, you know, bringing it to the kids that need it the most.
Yeah, I mean, that's an amazing perspective. I mean, even the dichotomy of the people that you hang around with, that mixture. You're
Yeah,
going to dental school, you're with other partners in the music and the art, and y'all doing that together. I mean, showing that there's other avenues to, you know, get your talent, you know, focused and honed is something that we gotta be better at. So from a goal perspective, I mean, where do you see yourself, you know, in the next, you know, 12, 24 months, obviously outside of residency, about growing the brand and the special, unique platform that you're building? I mean, is that something that initially could be something that's franchisable? You know, because it's totally different. It's niche oriented, and it's become specialty that it can be easily identified.
yeah, for sure, definitely. I don't really see it as, you know, per se something franchisable, but I think our, like I said, our business model, you know, it's business to business, and it's just like, but it's specifically targeting people who are really at the startup. You know, the girl in the neighborhood who's doing everybody's hair, um, and she's making, you know, let's say she's making $1,000 a week, but she doesn't know how to create a website. She doesn't know how to create a system, business model. She's not keeping track of her like money and stuff like that. Um, and, you know, connecting them, or she might need somebody to shoot a video and we connect them, or you're somebody that shoots videos but you can't get clients. So we're kind of, you know, blending those together, but also we're content production. So we are going to start a podcast. I was telling Nick, so we just got the office 2 months ago. We got it like it's almost finished renovating. We got it painted, got the floors in. We're getting furniture in there now. We bought a bunch of like equipment for like podcast material. But with my like docu-series, initial idea for it was not only to kind of promote the Chill Different Productions, but to also brand myself as, you know, future Dr.
Right.
And the whole point of the docu-series is to show them through my 4th year, and the last episode would be my graduation,
Sure.
and hopefully to, you know, gain a following and gain attention during the journey. And then the graduation, you know, I was gonna, you know, put a lot of time and money into making it a spectacle and also marketing it, um, and, you know, hopefully getting a lot of followers and stuff like that, and then, you know, funneling them back to Chill Different Productions to either purchase merchandise, to become clients, or to whatever, invest, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I just see that as a space, and who knows, it could even be something when I do go into dentistry. You know, somebody in dentistry wants to make themselves more marketable. My classmates that come up to me all the time, yo, I love your videos, like keep doing that. You know, I have a Jewish classmate who his father is a dentist, extremely wealthy in real estate. He owns like over 100 properties, and he's one of the people that is a business-minded person too. He's funny. He's known for like tickets. Him and his other Jewish classmates did like best buds, and from first year, everybody would be studying. They were like selling like, you know, season tickets. They would buy like hundreds of tickets and then sell them for a profit. And, you know, they're making like $10,000 a month. And, you know, like just like me, you know, like they would study, you know, when it's time to come for the exam and do what they had to do and take care of the exams. But, you know, we were kind of like bond on that. And it also made me realize, like, I'm not, you know, don't feel guilty if you're not getting straight A's all the time.
Right.
Because there's a bigger picture here, you know, and they know it because his father's doing it.
Right.
You know, he knows, like, these kids are like worrying about, they're looking at it like this, you know. But yeah, so that's you know, in a year, 24 months, I see that, and I definitely gonna just keep the content going, especially, you know, when I get into a residency and when I am, you know, I think a lot will come when I actually earn my degree and I'm officially Dr. Wildeman. You know, I'll change my name on Instagram to Dr. whatever, and the kind of like prestige and respect that comes with that, I think will help, you know, the following and the branding.
Yeah, man, that's incredible, man. You better have that and have yourself in a position where you can facilitate those relationships with those, you know, other doctors and show you the ropes of what the future can be, and then you can go back and show them the ropes. Because even when you put your hand up there, the reason why it's limited because they don't have perspective and they haven't been able to be shown all the possibilities.
Yeah.
See, if we're able to be shown all the possibilities and we have access, then it's an equal playing field. Exactly. And that's where you can understand that they're no better than you are. They just had more, you know, opportunities, and they were told what the roadmap is about, so you can have that ability to spread that gospel to them. Man, that's incredible to have the ability to be a Renaissance man at a young age, incorporate all different facets, because dentistry doesn't define you as a person.
Exactly.
And I think that's a lot of times that when we were brought up that one profession made who you are versus all them other talents and gifts that God gave you to share back with the world. So you've been able to navigate and figure out the things that you like, you're passionate about, and still also have a professional life in front of you. Man, dude, sky is the limit. So this is amazing, man. It's something that you had to come back and keep us apprised of the progression that's going on in your career.
Definitely was gonna say,
you're in the first chapter, man.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need your services too. You know,
chapter book.
You know, you're gonna need your services.
Oh yeah,
definitely, man. This is exciting. Nick, man, you never seem to amaze me, brother. You be bringing on these sharp guys, man. I'm almost jealous. I wish I can go back in time and
go back in time,
like these guys.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, and I definitely got more coming, you know, for sure. Definitely got more coming for sure. You know, Drew and I, we talked about doing the follow-up, you know, once we got the office space set up, you know, introducing the platform to the rest of the team, you know. So
you know what I do?
Definitely got more coming.
Man, Drew would be a great person to speak at the SYEP.
Yep. Speak to the students. Yep, for sure.
I'm always I do so much of that. I'm telling you, like, you know, despite whatever's going on with school, like I said, I'm a mentor for like every program that I did here. I'm always, you know, taking any time to speak. You know, it's definitely important to me. Like Nick said, like when our office is done and we get this space, I definitely wanted to have Nick come on, and like I said, we could talk about everything. DJ.
Absolutely, we would love to come on to your show.
That you providing too would be extremely beneficial to anybody. I mean, us included. So I think it would be extremely cool to have Nick do it. You know, do it, make it creative and cool. and pitch everything that DJ has going on. And
Yeah,
you.
we need to have more of that done in our community. What is you guys grand opening, and what's your scheduled event for the next 60, 90 days? We'd be interested to know about that so we can get the word out on all our platforms. And man, you know what? Even be a great person to have Ericka interview.
Oh yeah.
I mean, my thing is, you know, the more you can give back, the more you're going to be blessed.
Exactly. Always.
At the end of the day.
It's
And these stories that can be told, man, dude. I mean, one of the things, like you said, cool. I get that, but at the same time, we all know that there's accountability and discipline and focus that's required for real success.
That's the coolest thing.
That's the thing, that having that relatability as a millennial, you can straight up and be straightforward with your kids. You know what? You can turn on the TV, and you know what? That's a once in a 5 million chance that you're gonna be one of those people. But here, this is 1 in 1.
Yep. And that's that's kind of the power of, you know, the people that I surround myself with, you know, Quick and College and those guys, because, you know, they were, you know, outside with, you know, the guys that are doing stuff that's not really good and positive, but they stood for, you know, they stood for being an individual. Like I said, they welcome me with open arms. I was just a kid in dental school, you know, and they've been around all type of people, killers, all those people, and they have their respect, because when they were coming up with them, you know, they were doing what they were doing, and they didn't join gangs. They never did that, but at the same time, they were doing the cool stuff, like, you know, like I said, getting women, and but the coolest thing that we preach is like being yourself, you know.
Well, there it is. I was about to say, the you know, knowing thyself trumps all of that, because that enables you to be 100% who you are, which most people are attracted to people because they don't know who they are.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, man, that's that's what it boils down to. Man, dude, yeah, this has been a blessing and refreshing. So, with that said, what will be some takeaways that we could leave the people with? The contact information that we can get in touch with you, Drew, for our people to find out, to know about. And man, yeah, man, dude, I'm like, man, dude, there's so much stuff that we could talk about. We don't have
definitely
in the day, but I think your field is one that's, man, nobody talks about going to dentistry anymore, especially as a black man.
Nope. It's something that, you know, like I said, I found out off a Google search. Nobody showed me.
I think about that. You searched.
I Googled it and it said #1.
Right.
You know, and like you said, a large part of it in the description, it was saying like the lifestyle, you know, and that's why I went dentistry versus medicine, because, you know, well, one, I like to work my hands and I like art and stuff like that, and dentistry is all about that. But the lifestyle, you know, medicine is, you know, here's a fact. It's like 90% of people in medicine, you know, physicians, they work for a hospital or the state or the, you know, a government or things like that. And in dentistry, you're working in a private sector, even though it's healthcare. And that's why it does get, you know, as you were mentioning, DJ, it does get shady, because, you know, while you are trying to take care of somebody's health, their oral health, you know, it's a private sector. So it's fee for service. So you got guys that are exploiting that, you know, they don't really care about the patient, because they could get away with it because it's a private sector. And the new thing now, they're saying, you know, don't be surprised. Amazon, Walmart, all these guys are going to get into dentistry.
Wow.
Seeing how profitable it is.
So they probably going to commoditize it just like they did with obstetricians.
Exactly. And there's all these corporations in dentistry, you know, they're throwing dental students that are coming out crazy salaries. Oh, 200,000 straight out. We'll give you 50,000 for loans, and it's you know, it's harder for like the smaller people to compete. And a lot of the, you know, the private owners, they're kind of like in fear of that corporate taking over.
Man, that's some great insight. I would have never thought about it from that standpoint.
Yeah.
That makes absolute sense. Because you're right. It is like 90, 99, 98, 90% individual practitioners, but they're part of the medical system. But you never think about it. And conversely, to doctors, automatically go work for hospitals, governments, and institutions. But dentists, they're working for themselves or other dental practices.
Exactly. So you're kind of forced to be an entrepreneur, you know,
Right.
by force.
Right, man, that's incredible. With that said, did that ever thought jump into your mind to get an MBA in that regard, or just from your entrepreneur studies that you're doing with your buddies, give you that MBA, process and to think about running business?
Yeah.
Now I think about it, I remember now how they were taking them through that business system of running a dental office, and doctors don't get taught that unless they go and get an MBA.
Exactly. Yeah, it's funny you mention that. For the first time, like my class was the first class that they offered like a MBA DMD dual degree. But they wanted us to pay like an obscene amount of money to be into it, and we would have to take night classes and all that stuff. So it wasn't worth it to me in the long run. But like I do study a lot of like business. I'm always watching interviews. I'm always like doing that stuff. But I think the most important tool I have is mentors that are that are owners, and that are open. They share with me, certain things, and anything I ask them, they tell me their numbers. They tell me, you should buy a failing practice.
Right, I was about to say, a lot of guys in your field, they attach on to an existing practice that these people are ready to get out and enjoy their retirement and buy it. And I know two dentists that did that exactly, and it went from they're making hardly no money. Then all of a sudden they bought this nice average practice, and boom, 5 years later they had 3-4 shops and they killing it.
Yeah,
and that seems like that's the model,
it's the model, yeah. And some have models, like my mentor, he has a model of fee for service only. He takes no insurance. Everybody has to pay, So he tells me like kind of the difficulties that come with that, and it's interesting. There's 1,000 ways to do it.
Man, that's powerful. What you got, Nick?
Yeah. Hey, well, I think you mentioned those takeaways and that contact information. So so Drew, why don't you give us those final takeaways? As we wrap this up and give all the contact information. For Chill Different Productions. For whatever information that you want the people to get connected with.
For sure. I'll start off with the Chill Different Productions. You can find us on Instagram at Chill Different Productions, just plain and simple. You'll go on there right now, you'll just see a bunch of like multimedia things that are just positive messages with music and sound. But once we open up the office, we'll start showing you the office and putting up the content and stuff like that. You could follow me on Instagram at AND _DREWW, like _Drew. And if anybody wants to reach out to me for anything, if anybody out there is watching that has questions about dentistry or anything like that, you can email me at Wildeman, WILDEMAN, Andrew, ANDREW @gmail.com, and I'll answer any questions you have. And takeaway message, study the greats, man. Look around, it's people that you come across every day that are doing great things. Just because you don't see them out here flashing flashing a Ferrari or anything like that. They have a wealth of knowledge, and just give credit where it's due, man. Thank you, DJ and Nick. Keep doing what you guys are doing. I hope we'll definitely probably reconvene at some point. I'm very grateful for this. Like I said, I'm a lot of stress I'm dealing with right now, so it's good to touch base with you guys and get that real world perspective for a minute.
Absolutely, no doubt, man, no doubt. I mean, hey, I know your parents got to be extremely proud of you, my friend.
Yeah.
So we want to bless them for their sacrifice investment that they had, the gumption to come to the country,
Yeah.
give you the ability to have an open landscape to create, a legacy for them as well. So that's amazing. So I look at you, Drew, and I say to myself, well, my two sons, Rodney and Christian, man, I would love for them to have opportunity to meet you and emulate, your fortitude and your mindset of getting the job done. Because that's all we need. That's all we need to see.
That means a lot, man. Appreciate
at the end of the day, man. So it's a blessing to have had this privilege to speak to you, and we're gonna get the word out, and we definitely gonna keep this thing moving forward as we do. So Nick, it's your show, baby. So we'll let you wrap it up.
Okay.
I'll step back and let that mic go.
All right. Yeah, you know what, DJ, you came up with a new acronym. You haven't used it. You haven't used it in a while since our last expert interview series. But I'm referring to the HIM.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I think Drew definitely exemplifies the acronym you came up, the HIM. See if I remember it correctly. So the H is for humility.
That's right.
Okay. The I is for integrity, and the M is for the real black man.
That's right.
Yeah.
Welcome to the HIM Club. I totally forgot about that.
yeah, HIM Club. Yep.
Where do I get a shirt, man? Where do I get a shirt at, man? Let me get a hat.
We got a new batch coming out, and I gotta apologize to everybody that, man, we got to get a new batch out. We will get you one, no doubt. It took me a long time just to get Nick here. So
yeah. Yep, it's all good. So yeah, you definitely exemplify the HIM acronym. Something else that we didn't touch on directly that I think is also important about you is that knowledge of self aspect. So you definitely have that included with your multiple skills and talents. So definitely props to you for that. So just to close out and to let everyone know what we got coming up. Of course, follow us. We're 7 Spheres of Money on all platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Visit our website, djthemoneycoach.com. Get that information there. Catch our shows every week. Of course, this show Friday nights, a story on Wednesday, and I got a package in the mail here, so I'm gonna open it up real quick.
Okay.
Because I know what it is. So last week we had our monthly book discussion.
Oh yeah.
On Never Eat Alone, and some of those principles definitely.
Person that exemplifies Never Eat Alone too.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So the next book that we'll be reading and discussing here, taking it out the package.
Oh yeah,
is the E-Myth.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That'd be a great book for you to get, Drew.
Yeah.
Yep. The E.
I'm getting that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yep. The E. Yeah. The E stands for entrepreneurship.
Yep.
Yeah. So the entrepreneurship myth there.
I'm on that, man. You guys got me charged up, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. So that'll be the next book discussion. So anybody who wants to join in that discussion, you can go ahead and get this book. It's by Michael Gerber, The E-Myth.
Yep.
Why most small businesses don't work and what to do about it.
Yep. What edition is that? That's about what? That's about the 9th edition, 10th edition, or something like that.
It's up there. Yeah, it's definitely up there.
Yeah, I'd be dating myself. I had one of the original copies. I was actually fortunate enough to meet Michael Gerber and win a business symposium program that he was the moderator for back in 2010. I think it was 2010 or 2008. Wow. Actually, our business model that we're doing right now, we have brought out onto the platform in Dallas, Texas, and Michael Gerber was one of the moderators, so I had a chance to speak to him. Yeah. He really liked what we put together. So that just encouragement, and that's the same thing. what you're doing is right on point. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. So,
Appreciate it, man.
hey, man, it's off the hook, man. This is a love fest, and it's a positive one that we always got to share with each other. So, Nick, we're gonna wrap this out the way we wrap it out. You gonna do it, or you want me to do it?
Oh yeah. I'll go ahead and do it since it's my show. I'll go ahead and do it. Yeah. So so what we say is we wish you a pom lifestyle that is plenty of money and peace of mind. And come join us on the Beaches of the World Club, because once you leave here, you can't take it with you. Yeah, exactly. So everybody take care, and we'll see you on the next broadcast.
Absolutely. Hey, peace. God bless.
Peace.